Naming covalent compounds. A covalent compound is formed when two or more nonmetals or metalloids join in what is called a molecule. Most of the nonmetals and metalloids are located at the right in the periodic table, including hydrogen. Formula to name. In order to name a covalent compound, we need two things: the name of the element and a prefix. This prefix relates to the number of atoms we have in the molecule. The prefixes that we are going to be using is mono for 1, di for 2, tri for 3, tetra for 4, penta for 5, hexa for 6, hepta for 7, octa for 8, nona for 9, and deca for 10. Let's start with a simple molecule that you surely know: water. To name it, we will start from left to right, naming the first element and adding its corresponding prefix according to the number of atoms. In our example, H is hydrogen, and it has two atoms of hydrogen, so we will use the prefix di. Putting it together is dihydrogen. Next, we continue with the second element. In our case, O is oxygen, and its corresponding prefix is 1, mono. In addition, we need to change the ending to IDE. This only applies in the second element, so putting it together, it will be monoxide. And the name of our molecule is dihydrogen monoxide. One thing to remember about the prefix mono: never use it with the first element. In the second element is optional unless the first element is also one atom. Example, CO, that is carbon monoxide. The O and A endings of these prefixes are dropped when they are attached to oxide. Example, penta plus oxide is pentoxide. Let's practice. pH3. P stands for phosphorus, and we have only one, and it's mono. Remember, no mono in the first element. H stands for hydrogen, and we change the ending to IDE, so it's hydride. And for 3, we use tri. Putting it together, the name of the compound will be phosphorus trihydride. A special case, an O. N stands for nitrogen, back again only one, mono, but we don't use mono in the first element. O stands for oxygen, oxide, and we have one, and we use mono. Putting it together, that will be nitrogen monoxide. An easy one, C3Cl6. C stands for carbon, and 3 is tri. Cl is chlorine, so we change the ending to IDE, that will be chloride, and for 6 we use hexa. And putting it together, our compound will be tricarbon hexachloride. Now let's go from name to formula. Departing from the name is much easier, as they give us clues on the subscripts, the molecules that they have. Let's start with a molecule you're pretty familiar with: carbon dioxide. We start with the first element, in this case carbon. Carbon, his symbol is C, and as it doesn't have any prefix, it means that we have only one atom. Remember, in chemical formula, the number 1 is not written. Next, oxygen, the symbol is O, and as it has a di prefix, it means that we have 2 atoms. Putting this information together, our chemical formula will be CO2. Let's practice. Diboron pentasulfide. The di means 2, boron is represented with the letter B, penta is 5, and sulfide comes from sulfur, S. Putting this information together, our chemical formula will be B2S5. An easy one, selenium heptaiodide. We don't have a prefix in the first one, so it's one atom. Selenium is represented Se, hepta is for 7, and iodide is from iodine, I. Putting this information together, our chemical formula will be SeI7. Thank you for watching.